Namaste everyone. Welcome to yet another series of In Conversation with by Thought Habitat Speaks. We have covered budget reactions from various industry professionals recently, both in our website as well as in our YouTube channel. Even recently, we had an interview with Mr. Prashant Saraugi, who is one of the most accomplished business leaders in India. And today, we have one more accomplished business leader who's a keen observer of startup ecosystem in India. And he has also invested in a lot of startups. And now he is actively involved in four startups, which can be called as a game changer in the Indian scenario. And there we have Mr. Neeraj Bora. Neeraj, thank you so much for joining with us today. It's rather a
Thanks,
great
Arvind.
privilege, and even I would say privilege is an understatement to host someone like you.
Thanks for the introduction. Yeah.
So, Neeraj, I'm quickly jumping on to the questions. The response to budget 2021 was pretty positive in the stock market. And even now, the bull run continues as recently we've been hearing that the Sensex has reached the 52,000 mark. That's yesterday.
Right.
What's your opinion on this? Is it just the bull run because like there's been some announcements and like maybe because the finance minister didn't touch upon the corporate tax and all those points, or is it going to continue for a while? What's your opinion on this?
Okay. So, considering the bull run, I would say most of us knew that the government had a tight wallet just before the budget. The COVID spending and the lower tax collections due to the lockdowns had I would say, decent imbalance on the government finances. But whatever it was, it had to be done. So some sort of liquidity, some sort of money infusion in the economy has to be done by the government. But at the same time, they had their own constraints to work around. Okay. So as and when the market was rebounding, which is last month and December onwards, the market has shown some recovery. So the budget was, I would say, fine as per the situation. However, there is a policy change. There could have been a policy change that probably have left more cash with the consumers, so that the demand revival would have been better than the actual policies that were implemented. So that was the only thing. Apart from that, like, the SME sector has suffered a lot. So I would say a lot of consolidation has happened in the market in almost all the sectors, and that is why, like, the large companies or the listed companies have, I would say, gained a lot at the cost of the SME sector, and that has happened across all the sectors. Like, if you say even real estate to most of the like NBFCs and almost all the sectors. So that is one reason that the stock market is growing, because large companies have a decent edge, and they can, absorb shocks in a better manner than most of the SMEs. So that's why the stock market is going good. And I would say, like, because the rebounding is happening, so probably the bull run would continue for a while, but the impact on the actual earnings will take a bit of time. But the optimism is there, so the market is going to be good for a while now.
Uh, so again, Neeraj, my next question is also more or less a similar one,
Hmm.
but this comes more specific to how the things were handled. Implementation is where the key lies now. All said and done, they've announced some key measures like a big infra push, but yet that all comes with a 5-year plan, right? And also the government has already borrowed
Right.
a significant amount to handle the COVID 19 scenario. Added to this, more capital is to
Right.
be infused by borrowing only. Do you see that as a healthy way? Like, won't the government be
Right.
paying more interest rather than earning?
Uh, yeah, so see, there is no single right way to do things. I mean, of course, the government has a lot of, I would say, their own set of challenges that probably we don't take into consideration looking from outside. But yeah, so the government borrowing was essential from, like I just said, from the demand perspective. So until and unless you have like infused money in some or the other form in the market, the demand revival can take a lot of time. Second, on the jobs front, so like in such a scenario where there the optimism is just picking up and it was not existing in last 3 quarters. So private investments have gone to a low level. So that is the point where the government has to step in, even if it's from the borrowings or anything else. Because once you have enough money and the market sentiment is good, people know what they have to do, right? Just that the market situation has to be in sync with what people want to do. And even if the borrowings are there, I would I have something in mind. So government is planning a lot of divestment. If you look at LIC, BPCL, and there are a lot of divestment proposal that the government is looking from since a long time now. So even if you look at the divestment proposal for next few years, it's easily coming between 10 to 15 lakh crore. And the infra budget for next few years is again on a similar level. So what could be done is probably pool your entire PSU investments and issue some sort of bonds up against that. So like it's not about just the interest, but how will you serve the interest, or how will the borrowings be funded or repaid over a period of years, is probably allocated from the divestment proposal. Because the tax revenues have also gone down, there is a, I would say, like, of course they are working a lot on the efficient tax structures nowadays. But tax has other revenue expenditures and other budgets for them. So infrastructure can be probably funded from the PSU divestments, and a lot more planning can be done, because infra is one of the biggest spending from the government point of view. That's
And in fact, my next question, I'm just putting it on the infrastructure sector. So
why. Okay.
infrastructure projects are given a big push, and the pole bound states are taking the big chunk. This was very well welcomed by everyone, as experts kept suggesting before the budget was announced that a pandemic ridden economy needs an infra push. Right?
Okay.
And
Hmm.
but the 5 year timeline, does it seem to be a loophole in the entire process? You really think
Mm,
5 years isn't a big time, and should we set a shorter time frame for these?
No, so see, infrastructure is not something that can be done like in a very quick turnaround time, and it's also not something that can be completed very easily. So let's say take Maharashtra for an example. We consider Maharashtra as a developed state as compared to other states, but still there are a lot of infra issues or infra problems that are yet to be solved, because it's an ongoing process. So, like considering a 5 year, of course, like project to project, it may vary, but otherwise, it will take, I would say, few decades to reach somewhere like US or some other developed country. As you said, the infrastructure. The thing is, the infra spending has to be necessarily done by the government, because it's a utility thing. So, and even for government, like healthcare and infra are the only two things that can be probably done or pushed in after the pandemic situation. So I would say it's a decent thing that the government has done. On the pole bound states, I don't think it makes much of a difference. Yeah, probably the timing could be different, but like I said, even Maharashtra and Gujarat still needs a lot of infrastructure spend. So it's not like developed states don't need it. And like we cannot talk about the other developing states because there is a lot of infrastructure requirement apart from like developed state also. So probably the timing could be depending upon the poll as well, but either ways it has to be done now or probably at a later stage.
And this government is always criticized when it comes to divestments. Even we saw that when
Okay.
it came to the merging of banks and other divestment propositions, we've seen that there's been a big criticism on it. The government is selling a lot, like they're just giving away their ownership and all those. And the highlight of the budget was LIC IPO in 2022.
Right.
So, what is your opinion on it? Is divestment a good option for the government to raise capital, or as the critics say, like, is it the wrong thing to do?
Okay, so I have some sort of a mixed opinion on this. So sectors like let's say HL or defense sector or probably railways. So sectors like this can probably still be, I would say, it can be controlled by the government. They are profit making. They are very key utility or essential utility sectors. So probably these all sectors are something that could be kept by the government with themselves. But let's say for an example, Air India or I would say BSNL. Okay, so thing is, thousands of crore has to be pumped in every year in these companies just to keep them afloat. There is no like probably I would say BSNL was a decent or a very important utility segment, but if it's not doing good, so see it is a burden on the taxpayer money, like even for the government in such situations. So in case of pandemic, keeping afloat Air India, BSNL, or some other loss-making PSUs is a burden with them as well. So I would not say कि government or the bureaucracy has expertise to run each and every sector, whichever they want to. But
Yeah.
having said that, certain sectors in defense or very key utility like railways is one, like I would say one of the biggest connectivity solutions in India. So these sectors could be kept by the government, but like for LIC, for example, LIC or BPCL. So oil is not something that probably the government would want to hold on for long because EVs are coming. So there are a lot of things because other than that, what happens is like government policy decision might also get impacted, like EV implementation, HPCL divestment, whatever. So it has to be thought out on a sector to sector basis. But yeah, I would say divestment is one of the good things that can be done because private sector is known for its efficiency in running businesses across sectors. So inefficient business models run by the government with public money doesn't make sense. Probably like you can rationalize tax rates rather than funding these companies. That's I would say.
Well, great, Neeraj. It was great having you in the entire conversation, and you've given some key insights with a critical review about each and every aspect that we had asked for. We hope that we could have you more and more in our discussions going forward, and I hope that continues
Sure.
on a long run as well.
Yeah, yeah, sure. I would like to have be on your videos again. I don't mind at all. Okay.
Thank you,
Chalo.
Neeraj.
Thanks, Arvind.
Thank you.
Let's catch up sometime again soon. Chalo. Bye.